So you are a homeschool family and you have decided to either relocate or purchase a property here in the Kansas City metropolitan area, and you have started homeschooling and you want to just know a little bit about the homeschool community and what things are available for you to dive into and to learn about, because I understand all of those questions. I also understand that very simple prayer that you say, Lord, please plant me near a strong homeschool community. Well, today I want you to grab your coffee, grab a notebook. You're going to be taking some notes because today we are going to be diving into what it's like to live in the Kansas City area and be a homeschooling family and answer some really popular questions that I get from, a former homeschooled family, as well as just somebody who helps people find a location here in the Kansas City area to live in. And so I'm going to be covering a lot of homeschool events, as well as some of the best homeschool co-ops right here in the Kansas City metropolitan area, both on the Kansas side as well as on the Missouri side of the state line. Why is that relevant for you on a real estate YouTube channel when you're not necessarily worried about the school district? Well, you actually might be surprised at some of the differences of the co-ops, and you might actually choose to live in a certain location in the Kansas City metropolitan area, especially if you are a homeschool family and you're looking to find a community. It could be a very well-rounded question as to where you might want to live. And so I wanted to just share this with you because I get multiple questions, especially when people find out that our family homeschooled for 10 years. Yes, we do things a little differently here in Kansas City. I should know I was in those trenches as a homeschool mama for 10 years. So in this video, we're not just going to be covering the co-ops. Yes, that is so important. We are actually going to be touching on some of the curriculum styles, the events, the resources, etc. So whether you are raising a little missionary, a future engineer like my son is now, also a chemistry student, which my daughter is actually in her master's program, or somebody who is currently building a Lego church in your kitchen, I've got you covered. If we've never met before, my name is Anita Cordell. My husband and I, as I mentioned before, homeschooled for about 10 years right here in Kansas City. And when our kids got into about the high school age, we put them into a private school here in the metropolitan area. So we've got experience in both homeschooling as well as some private schools and a little bit in the public school district. I'm also a licensed real estate agent and a team lead of the Yellow Brick Group, and we've helped hundreds of people, whether that's relocating to the Kansas City metropolitan area or helping people buy their first home or move their elderly parent here as well, including downsizing. And so we help people all across the metropolitan area with living and helping them with lifestyles. And what I wanted to share with you today is that the right move is not just about the address, it's about the alignment with not only just the lifestyle that you want to live, but it's even bigger than that. I believe that the right move is making sure that you are aligned with your purpose and your call and what God has for you and the people that you are entrusted with and the people that you affect and the lives that you affect and the people that affect you. And as you know, I am not just a real estate agent. I'm a fellow believer as well as somebody who's a Christ follower. And I love bringing my faith into my business, into the joys of real estate and that journey of helping people buy or sell. And I believe that God has a purpose and a plan for you. And yes, that includes even the house that you buy and the neighborhood that you're going to live in. And I just believe that it is all encompassing and the relationships that you're involved with. And so while we're going to be talking about homeschooling today and how that affects you in the real estate world and where you're going to live in Kansas City, just know that some of the things that I'm going to be talking about and the decisions that you need to make should align with your faith journey as well. So let's get into the subject of homeschooling in Kansas City. That is why you came here to this video, correct? I'm going to be talking to you about some popular questions that I get from a real estate standpoint, as well as people who are moving here or even wanting to start homeschooling. So the first question that I will get often is the Kansas City metropolitan area considered homeschool friendly? The answer is Hasn't always been. In fact, there is a history of Kansas City making some headway when it comes to those early adopters and those early families who helped pave the way to make homeschool possible for you and for me. And they were even taken to court early on in the 80s, and yet they were able to pave the way. And so right now, currently, yes, Kansas City is very homeschool friendly. I know multiple people that would concur with me. And there are numerous resources and opportunities for families just like yourself who want to maybe move here to Kansas City and they homeschool, or are already here in Kansas City and want to homeschool and are just figuring out, do we move, do we not? But there's a lot of resources that are out there, including organizations and events and activities and a lot of information out there for homeschoolers. Now, I want to tell you about this very popular organization that has made a lot of homeschooled families just vamp up their learning curve, if you will. And this organization is called MPE. It's called Midwest Parent Educators. It's just $50 a year, and it gives you a membership that includes a lot of benefits like free admissions to their annual homeschool conference. You can actually also have a part in their graduation. You have to meet some specific criteria, but they have a graduation. They have different discounts. They have an annual curriculum sale. There's a subscription to their newsletter. It's called The Parent Educator. And in that newsletter, there's all kinds of local events and opportunities for area homeschoolers. And then they also have a discount to HSLDA and then the Women's Encouragement Day. What's really great about the growth of MPE is that it has grown so much that it sponsors this Midwest Parent Education Conference. And this conference is not just this small little conference now. It is very big. There's well-known speakers that come from across the nation here to Kansas City. There's actually people that drive hours and hours and hours to come to this conference. And there's over 180 vendors that participate in the curriculum fair. And there's multiple workshops that address all kinds of things that homeschoolers face and that parents face. And there's an attendance usually of around 2,500 people at this conference. I know that when me and my husband first started in homeschooling, I completely did not think that I was qualified. I did not think that I could do it. In fact, I fought it for about 2 years. And when some issues came up with my daughter in the public school system that were just not something that we wanted to actually continue moving forward with, then we decided, yep, okay, now's the time. We really do want and need for our family to homeschool. And so I started to be on this journey of learning, and it was this huge learning curve. And I remember the very first time that we went to the MPE conference, I was absolutely overwhelmed. There was table after table after table after table of people who were trying to sell their specific curriculum and teach people about their curriculum. And then there were workshops, and I was on overload, but yet it was literally the best thing that I could have done for that year. Now, I will say this, that I understand all the questions that you probably are having with Kansas City and the homeschool community and where to live and where to join in on different communities. So I say all that to say, what better real estate agent can you have other than someone like myself who has experience with this? So here I am sharing with you a little bit more about homeschooling here in the Kansas City area. So let's go into question number 2. People will ask me if I want to get started in either homeschooling on the Kansas side or homeschooling on the Missouri side, and I'm needing to try to decide which state to be in and which state to start my homeschool in. Obviously, it's where you are in your residency. And I've actually done a deep dive into comparing the state of Kansas and the state of Missouri. And so if you want to watch that video and just learn a little bit about the different states and see what vibe is that you like, then watch that video that I've created. But there is an organization called HSLDA. And if you go to their website, you can get a lot of help when it comes to the legal side of how to start a homeschooling endeavor on the Kansas side side as well as the Missouri side, all you need to do is go to their website and pick the state that you're wanting to compare it to. And it's really like an homeschool advocate organization to make homeschool possible in as many states as they possibly can. So be sure and check out those laws and what kind of restrictions that both Kansas and Missouri have. But basically, Kansas at a glance, it has low regulations, and they do have a lot of options for Kansas. And on the Missouri side, there are no regulations when it comes. So there's just a slight difference between the two of them. But HSLDA, there's a lot of resources on their website, including how to withdraw from schools, how to comply with each state's laws, and how to get started even with homeschooling. Like, what do you need to do, whether it's to register for it or, naming your homeschool. There's also state education provisions that also are on the website. And then there's also a whole lot of other resources. So be sure and take a look at HSLDA and that website and see if there's any other questions that you have that website might actually cover. Now, once you get started in homeschooling, I get this other question. Question number 3 is, are there special activities across the Kansas City metropolitan area that specifically focus on homeschool? Why, yes, there are. And here is a list of all kinds of activities that you might want to just keep your eyes and ears open when you are walking through your homeschool journey. So first of all, if you've never heard of Crown Center Plaza, you've got to take a look at it. So the Crown Center District has an actual homeschool week, and it's usually in January, and it's got all kinds of successes centered around that. It includes special activities such as discounts and attractions to various locations around the Crown Center District. So you get discounts to the Coterie Theater, which is amazing. You also get discounts to the Hallmark Visitors Center, which if you've got a little artist in the making, this is perfect to go and see. You've also got discounts to Kaleidoscope that week, Legoland Discovery Center, including the National World War I Museum, which you have to go to. We've gone there several times and it is amazing, especially if you are studying history. You can include that in on your curriculum. You also have discounts to Sea Life Kansas City Aquarium, which if you're studying animal life, and you also get discounts at Union Station and more. So be sure and look for the homeschool week. It's usually around January or February. And then there's also one in the fall, in September or October, somewhere around in that time frame at the Crown Center District. So be sure and keep your eyes open for that as well. Now, the next event that I want to share with you is the Great Wolf Lodge Homeschool Weeks program. Basically, I called it a program, but because they don't just have 1 or 2 weeks throughout the year, it's a lot. So for the last few years, MPE has been partnering with Great Wolf Lodge in Kansas City, Kansas. And what they do is they offer homeschoolers extra fun throughout the school year. And if you haven't heard of Great Wolf Lodge, it is so fun. It's a hotel basically with this little miniature water park inside of it. And so it's a great way to provide some water fun even in the wintry months. Basically what they do is they waive their daily resort fee, and it includes the water park wristbands for every single registered guest. And so you get discounts on like food and concessions, the Howl-in-One mini golf course, and the Magi Quest games. Those are so fun as well. You also have the Mahaffey Stagecoach Homeschool Day. And this is a really fun day to go. And it's a farmstead, basically. And it's a historic site in Olathe, Kansas. And it's got 2 homeschool days in the year, typically one in the fall and then one in the spring. And when you go into it, the rate is usually discounted per student, and you also get 1 free adult that day as well. And families are welcome to bring your own lunch. You can have a picnic. You can enjoy the picnic shelter and have just a wonderful day at this location. Next, we are talking about Worlds of Fun Homeschool Educator Days. Oh my goodness, such a fun day. What better way to learn mathematics, physics, and science All right, you can make a study out of that by going to Worlds of Fun, and what better place to do it than Worlds of Fun. And I've actually done a video about Worlds of Fun and Oceans of Fun and just some of the accommodations that are there. It's also a fun little video to watch. This year's homeschoolers were invited to the park's Educator Days, which actually gave discounts to the teachers across the city, and all the teachers get to go to Worlds of Fun with this discounted day. Well, they included homeschoolers on that day too, and so I thought that that was really, really fun. Then you've got the Kansas City Zoo. What better place to go and learn about animals? The Kansas City Zoo has brought back its homeschool days, and so you get a discounted rate if you go that day. And the next available scheduled one, I believe, is October the 6th. Also, if you have a large enough group, so grab like your whole co-op, you can qualify for a discounted field trip day there as well. Okay, then this next place is super fun. You've got the Nelson Atkins Museum of Art, and it also has homeschool discounts as well. Now, on discounted dates, the homeschoolers can visit the museum and they can enjoy special programs and activities. They have like this interactive gallery experiences, and then they have these hands-on processes that you can experience as well. You know me, and I like those hands-on and artistic things to do. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that I'm also a film and commercial actress, and so anything dealing with the arts is always super fun. But the museum, it also offers K through 12 school tours, and then they also include workshops for homeschool families as well. So that would be another great way to bring some of your friends along in your different co-ops. So you can learn more about the homeschool days on the museum's homepage by searching the word homeschool and find out a little bit more about some of the programs that they offer. Okay, another really fun place to go is Sky Zone, and they also have a homeschool discount. Sky Zone is so fun. This is really a great group discount, but many of our area homeschoolers, they will plan like regular field trips to this area and go to Sky Zone locations and just have fun time with their family and friends. So check out your location, because there's a couple of different Sky Zone locations for more details on that. Okay, here's another one. This is so fun, and it deals with the arts and music, but that's the KC Symphony Link Up. And this is not exclusive to homeschoolers, but the Kansas City Symphony, it offers these seasonal field trip opportunities through what's called Link Up, and it's a program that is open to homeschoolers to participate in. So you'll want to participate in stuff like that as well. Okay, then there's Skate City's Homeschool Skate Up. And when you're looking for that really good time that is also affordable, Skate City is the option to go to. It's located in Overland Park, and it provides a discounted rate of $6 admissions to homeschoolers, and then the skate rentals are $3 from 1 to 3 on the first Thursday of every month. So this could be a monthly thing that you and your friends can go to. It's so fun. Then here's another event, KC Ice Center. KC Ice Center has this homeschool ice skating from about 1:45 to 2:45 every first and third Friday, all the way from September through May, and it's $4 a kid. And when we were homeschooling, we took our kids and took ice skating lessons, and it's so fun, and it gives it such a great exercise. As you know, if you followed my YouTube channel, you know that my family is a sports family. So my youngest kiddo played soccer. My middle kid is now playing softball in college. She's a pitcher. And then my oldest daughter was a basketball player. And we had to just put in as many sports as we possibly could. And they wanted to try ice skating, and they actually enjoyed it. I also just found out that Emerald City also offers a homeschool day every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 1 to 3 p.m. Okay, then the last one I'm going to tell you about is Homeschool Day at the K. And if you are a person here in Kansas City, you know what that means, and that is Royals. Royals offers Homeschool Day. So be sure and check on their website to know every single year what that homeschool day is and enjoy a day at the K. Now, as far as MPE and what I mentioned before, this program is so important to join as a homeschooler here in Kansas City. They offer prom, graduation, they have park days. They even have a day where they will allow for parents to come and sell their used curriculum to other homeschool families. So it's a way to actually save money. They also have homeschool workshops. And then one more thing is PE. So if you are not a sports family like mine and you need some PE hours or what have you, then there's also a homeschool PE program that is here in the Kansas City area. And when they offer these programs, it's more or less like if you don't play organized sports or if you need some extra PE hours, you can go to kcparks.org and look at their programs and find more information about the PE programs, and also check the MPE website. You might be able to find some events there as well. All right, so now let's go to question number 4, and that question is, are there any co-ops in Kansas City to broaden my child's curriculum and to help them become enriched and, meet some friends? And the answer would be, why, yes, there are. All right, so let's get into the co-ops. First, we've got Classical Conversations. Classical Conversations has multiple locations throughout the Kansas City area. I never was involved with Classical Conversations, but I have several friends who were, and they absolutely loved it. It was a little pricier than what I was hoping to, but there's multiple locations there, so you just have to look on their website and see if that is even an option for you. Okay, so let's start talking about the co-ops that are on the Missouri side of Kansas City. The first co-op that I would like to share with you is called DHA, or they also call it Discovery Homeschool Academy. One is in Belton, one is in Pleasant Hill, one is in Blue Springs, one is in the Northland. Each one of these locations offers a different age range. I think 2 of them go from K through 10th grade, and then 2 of them go K through 12th. So you'll want to make sure that you check the website and just read about DHA and see which of these locations would work for you, especially if you are open to living anywhere. This would be a great program, but my kids and my family absolutely loved DHA. And it's something really for more of families who want a little bit more structure, almost kind of like a school-like environment, and they have a Christian worldview, and they had concerts with their choir, and every day they would have hours where you would go to different classes that your kid could go through. I mean, think like Saxon math, science labs, writing workshops, and yes, they sing Jesus Loves Me in circle time. So it's really best for like structured learning and kids who need accountability. It was super great. And something that I absolutely loved about DHA was the drop-off option. And there are multiple co-ops in the Kansas City area that have these drop-offs, so that if you work in a certain city and you're looking to homeschool, check to see if there's drop-offs in certain areas and you can work around the schedule of the drop-off. It's super cool. Now, it's not necessarily ideal for a super relaxed homeschooler. My kids were like, can we wear pajamas? But it's really more structured, and your super relaxed homeschoolers that like to sleep in until noon and then do their homework in the wee hours of the night, this would provide a little bit of challenge for that because it is a little more structured than that. And it also is pretty good at price as well. I loved DHA, and I know a lot of families who do as well. Next is a really fantastic one, and you know why I'm gonna love this. It's called In the Light Performing Arts Center. This is so fun because of the performing arts section of this enrichment program. They offer academic enrichment courses that really are designed for the journey of a homeschooler that wants a little more artistic style to it, and they even offer summer camps. So be sure and check out their website and look up at some of the things that they have to offer. It is such a fun option for you. Next is Kalos Christian Academy. Now, this is actually a private Christian school, but they have a homeschool co-op program, and it's located in the Northland. They offer even Spanish and Latin language programs that are tailored for the homeschool families, and they offer this K through 6th grade. Then there's also the KC Connected Homeschool Enrichment Program, and it's South Kansas City, Missouri. This is really a homeschool program that's focused a lot on connection, hence the name, and they meet on Mondays, and it's K through 12, and you'll find like a solid mix of academics as well as electives. Plus, their teen program, I hear it is absolutely incredible. These teens actually help run clubs, they help run social events and service projects. It's super neat. And the pros of this is that there's this balance of academics and fun, so it helps the families kind of be a little more relaxed when it comes to that and add a little fun in there. There's also really strong community events, and it's very welcoming to newcomers from the feedback that I have read about and seen. Now, the reality of it is this one has a con, and that it can fill up pretty fast because it is popular for a reason. So make sure that you check out that and just see if it's something that you would want to consider. Okay, next is the South Side Schoolhouse in Grandview, Missouri. So Grandview friends, this could be a gem for you. The unique thing about this location is that it offers some programs that are even for your baby's birth all the way up through a high school. They're offering help for those people, probably because parents might come and need a little extra help and stuff. So there's programs that are actually starting at birth all the way through to high school. Next is the Sparrow Enrichment Program, and this is K through 9, and it also is in the Northland, and it is a drop-off location. Now, there's some engaging courses all the way from K through 9th grade, and they meet every Friday from September through the month of May. So be sure and check out their website to see if that one complies with you. Then also for pre-K and K, there's some standalone classrooms that this school actually offers. There's unique, fun field trips, there's school pictures, there's even college degreed educators that come in, and they have a certain expertise in a certain field, and those people will come in and actually teach to the students. They also have Meet Teacher Night, which is pretty popular amongst the co-ops. They even have a kindergarten graduation. There's a winter concert and a spring exhibit. There's just a lot of memories that I've seen online. People love this. Okay, then there's the Homeschool Christian Academy in Kansas City. This is in Kansas City, Missouri, and the location is at about 118th and State Line Road. So it's right there on the state line. So if you live on the Kansas side and the Missouri side, it's something that's kind of centrally located on the southern part of the Kansas City metropolitan area. It's hosted at the Cornerstone Presbyterian Church. It's more of a traditional enrichment co-op. You've got Bible, history, writing, and then you've got some nature that's woven in there. It's for K through 8th grade, so it's more for that traditional co-op, building those foundational years where you're not really concerned about high school yet, and you can always transition to another co-op that's got high school later on if you wanted to. The highlights of this one, it really is a very conservative-based co-op from the feedback that I've received, and very Bible-based curriculum versus some of the other curriculums that are a little more broad. Then also too on this, there's a very strong parental volunteer. In fact, there is a requirement for volunteer hours at this one. And then there's lots and lots and lots of fellowship opportunities here at this co-op. Okay, moving on. Back to Grandview, there's one called Mighty Roots Academy. So Grandview, you've got some really good gems right in your own backyard when it comes to co-oping. Mighty Roots is for those wanting more of like a robust academic support in kind of like a hybrid model, if you will. It's got this blend of in-person instruction and then at-home instruction. So you've got this blend of, you don't necessarily only have this school or this curriculum at the location, but you've got this blend. So it's very similar to the classical conversations type feel and vibe, but it's a little more flexible than that. Now, the perks of this one is that from the last I heard, it offers transcript tracking, and it really does have a very strong Christian mission, but I think a lot of them do. And then there's this close-knit leadership here. I would venture to say to watch out for that small type feel, because what that would mean is that there's a limited seats that potentially are for every age group. So you might be careful about that and register quickly. All right, now you've got Journey Outpost, and this is in Harrisonville, Missouri. Now this one is a little bit farther out, but it's certainly worth the drive, especially if you are liking that semi-rural feel. It's very family-led, so this is heavy on hands-on learning, heavy on community-style teaching. You've got things like nature walks and dissection day and group read alouds, and then of course you've got your hot cocoa. This is for K through 12 as far as the age is concerned. All right, now you've got the Stony Table Study Group. This is in Blue Springs, Missouri. It's kind of a cool name, right? This name is inspired by Narnia, one of my all-time favorite movies, especially when I was watching the kids. Stone Table is a Charlotte Mason inspired co-op. There's lots of nature journaling, there's artist studies, and yes, they study Shakespeare. This is ideal for families that are just really seeking like beauty and wonder and art. There's a ton of parental involvement versus just like some of those co-ops where you drop off, which is absolutely workable for a lot of families, which I absolutely loved. It gave me a chance to actually have a day where I could do some things around the house or work on my business. In this specific co-op, there's a lot of parental involvement, and not only that, but every single family is required to volunteer. Another piece of feedback that I've received is that this specific co-op is really great for kids that thrive with literature-based learning. All right, then there's Ray Moore Homeschool Enrichment Co-op. It's a kind of casual vibe with, again, lots of family involvement with this strong sense of servant leadership, which is what they strive to. They'll make you feel like you've been there forever, from what I've been told. And lastly, on the Missouri side, you've got Legacy Christian Academy. And the reason why I included this on the Missouri side at the very end is because it's actually on both sides of the state line. You've got a location in Belton, and then you've got a location in Lenexa. Legacy is a little more formal when they come to academic, and it offers like this full curriculum track and as well as transcript support. From what I've been told and from what I've read, this specific homeschool enrichment program is super great for college-bound homeschoolers who still want that faith integration. Some pros about this is that it's a very organized leadership. There's full coverage when it comes to high school. They've got a strong biblical foundation. And then the cons are that it depends on if you like this or not, but there's less parent teaching, and it's more like a private school hybrid. There is competitive enrollment, so be sure and check their website fairly quickly. There's a little less co-op opportunities on the Kansas side, but there are still some fantastic opportunities. So let's hop on over there to the Sunflower State and see what's open over there. Okay, so there are co-op places in Kansas other than Legacy. There's one called Knox Classical School. It is in Lenexa as well, and it provides this comprehensive classical education framework, and it trains the students really to research scripture as well as creation at the same time with excellence and wonder. This, I believe, unless things have changed, is only from K through 4th grade. Then, if you go to Gardner, Kansas, you've got the Mighty Oaks. And this is a K through 12 program. It meets Mondays and Wednesdays from 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock. And there is some part-time enrollment for high school and middle school, but there's none for K through 4. What's really cool about this one is K through 2nd grade students actually get to participate in not only music and PE and art, but sign language. Like, what? Then there's also parts of the curriculum throughout the course of the age groups where you've got theater and arts and science, biology, chemistry, math, so much more, which is pretty standard on some of those more intense co-ops. Then you've got Sherma Homeschool Co-op. This is another one that is parent-led, and it's very educational. It's an enrichment opportunity from K through 12, and they meet every Tuesday in Tonganoxie, Kansas. They study art, PE, Spanish, historical mysteries. They have a yearbook class, graphic design, which is super cool. They have science presentations, crafting, all kinds of things. All right, and then there's Brighton Academy. I will say this, that this is probably one of the most established co-ops in Johnson County. Brighton serves K through 12, and it offers electives like art, music, drama, and even an entrepreneurship type of class. They also host family events, field trips, and they even rival some of the school districts around. They've got a very strong teen program, and they also have leadership that has been given kind of accolades that they actually listen to the people. Okay, so now that you know where the co-ops are, let's get a little strategic. If you are house hunting in the Kansas City metropolitan area and you want to take a deep dive into some of these locations, whether a neighborhood, a city, or just a surrounding area, be sure and reach out to me and give me a call, because I can help you take a deep dive and we can talk about some of the neighborhoods, the areas. I also have a lot of videos on this channel that talk specifically about certain cities, and so be sure and reach out. I have a calendar link that is in the description below. Not only do I have contact information, but this calendar link goes right to my calendar and we can set up an appointment and talk about your real estate goals. Now, as far as the commute, let's just have a reality check. Even though Kansas City traffic is not like Los Angeles or Dallas, it's smart to actually live within, say a 40-minute drive. Some people want you to live 15 to 20 minutes away, especially if you have littles in the car. But for me, I drove about 35 minutes to our co-op, and it wasn't that bad at all. But some people, if you have multiple kids and you take a pottery class and you're super frazzled and you've got banana bread all over the car and you've got one hand holding a toddler, driving that far can be a little bit hectic. So I 100% understand. So my number one tip for picking that right co-op is, of course, pray first and find out wherever you feel like God is wanting you to land with your family. But second of all, be sure and visit the co-op. There's a lot of contact information online, and maybe even you could ask to observe a classroom one day and go in and see what you think about that. Also, ask about the theology. Not every Christian co-op is the same. Some are a little more reformed, others are more charismatic, some are middle of the road. So you want to just ask where it's comfortable for you, and obviously pray over your fit, because God knows your kids. He knows your kids and your family better than anyone. So, friend, I hope that you got some clarity, some encouragement, and maybe even a nudge of confirmation that Kansas City is right for you. It is a wonderful place to raise and educate and be around and build your community and to disciple your children. And if you're moving to the area and you want to help finding a home and you need to meet some of these amazing communities, I'd be honored to walk through the journey with you. As a faith-based realtor, my mission is to help people find their location, find their community, find their home, find their neighborhood that is right for your family, and that you are building a God-honoring legacy, not just through real estate, but through connection and a lifestyle that will be something that you will be proud of for years to come. Subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and if you have any co-op questions, be sure and reach out and let me know which one caught your eye. And of course, if you're following along on this video and you're watching it, be sure and put in the comments below a co-op that maybe I missed, and let me know your experience, because I know there's a lot of questions out there that are homeschool related, and maybe you can help my viewers. So I welcome that comment as well. So to buy or sell, call Anita Cordell.